Well, I picked up the call to arms and a bounty contract, and they both populated instantly into my accepted tab, which is amazing. A lot of people were asking what I was using on the arrow in the last video, so I figured I better do a video explaining the best loadout for bounty targets in an arrow in 3.18. So if you're hunting bounties, NPC bounties in the verse, what you're going to want to have is laser repeaters. Yes, ballistics do a little bit more damage, but as you can see, it's plenty. And you never run out of ammo like you do with ballistics. You know, PvP, different story. You might want to run anything from distortions to ballistics to whatever. But laser repeaters, attritions, the C series, the Panthers, Badgers, all that stuff. The NDBs, missing a type. I mean, you can run cannons too if you really want to, but repeaters are going to be your best bet. And ultimately, with a small ship like the Arrow, you're really not going to see a big difference in time to kill in a positive way. So yeah, all laser repeaters generally take all your gimbals off and replace them with the max size of weapons, because as you know, if you have gimbals on your ship, it reduces the size of weapon that you can use. So with the Arrow, as you can see, the easy thing with attritions is that the number they are is the size they are. So you've got 2 size 3s on the bottom, and on your top turret you've got 2 size 1s. So out DPSs the Gladius by a little bit. The Arrow's just a fantastic ship, especially for NPCs. You don't have to worry about getting damaged too much. As long as you're moving, they're not going to hit you. It's kind of just like the perfect ship for this until you get up to ERTs, and then it's not really going to work too well. In terms of components, what you're going to want to do, I cannot hit this guy. Right, I'm hitting him, but he's so far away. Oh, he just hit an asteroid. Nice. JS300 is the power supply that you want to get for your ship, and it's important because it's gonna make sure that when you upgrade your shields and your guns and your cooling and all that stuff, that you're gonna actually be able to power them efficiently. Otherwise, you'll be stuck out here not recharging and stuff like that if you're using stock equipment. FR66 shields. Those are the military grade light fighter shields that are standard, that everybody uses because they're the best. The Arrow only has 1 shield, so that's the drawback of the Arrow. Gladius, you're going to need 2 of those FR66s. You're going to want an Ultraflow for one of your coolers, and you're going to want a ZeroRush for the other one, because they balance each other out. The rate of cooling, and the other one has a longer lasting cooler or something like that. I don't remember the particulars, but so quantum drive, I always tend to go with an Atlas, simply because I normally don't do big jumps, and so I don't need the highest speed quantum drive. Like, I do jumps like I just did right there. It's like not over 1 million, you know, because I stay in Crusader system for the most part. If you want that higher speed, I'm sure someone will drop in the comments what the highest speed light fighter quantum drive is. It's not the Voyager, is it? It's not the Expedition. That's a bigger one. I don't remember. I use the Atlas. It's probably the wrong choice, but do with that information what you will. I like to be able to stay out forever. That's why laser repeaters, Atlas drive, you know, I'm never going back in unless I need to catastrophically repair. And the great thing with light fighters is those components, you know, they're the same for pretty much everything. So it's just the amount of them is different. I mean, it's actually the only thing that's different between most light fighters is going to be the amount of shields you have. Most of them are going to require 2 FR66s. Some of them will require 1, like the Arrow. And I use that setup for PvP and for PvE because it's a perfect mix of both strengths. Luckily, you know, if you're doing bounty targets in a light fighter for PvE, it's not really going to matter what your setup is. You're really just going for longevity of your outing. Your goal should be never have to go back into the hangar, you know, because time is money, right? Trying to make it as efficient as possible. Whereas for PvP, you might want to sacrifice some of that longevity, maybe go with ballistics, you know, distortion, something, you know, cheesy like that. That way you up your chances of winning against actual people. But overall, I tend to stick with the just the same stuff. I mean, all the components are going to be the same regardless. It's just really what gun choice you pick. And quantum drive, you know, that stuff is the more flexible. So yeah, there you go. I think I covered everything. Definitely an Arrow guy when it comes to making money in terms of bounties. Gladius, you know, it's basically, it's all the same in terms of PvE. You don't have to worry about those little min-maxes because ultimately the PvE targets are pretty easy. If you're having trouble defeating them, it just means you need to practice more, get better. Make sure you're strafing. Make sure you're, circling them with your up strafe or down strafe and strafing left and right to change your position, all while shooting at them at the same time, and you'll be golden. They'll never hit you. That's a good basis for PvE practice too, being able to move and keep on target, and that's the whole thing, isn't it? So, all right, I'm gonna get back to hitting these bounty targets. Hopefully we can earn more than 48,000 pretty soon here, because I need to continue upgrading this ship. I don't even have all the upgrades that I just told you about because I'm too poor. So, all right, GG's everybody. I'll see you later.